No, I said, okay, we can, just not. I said, like, if we make it 5 years, we can make it forever. And what I've realized is that it doesn't fucking matter.
Doesn't work like that.
It doesn't work like that.
Mm-mm.
But we were there 5 years, and then she was like, okay, now I can go. Now I'm in charge. So she must have done, like, when I was in Norwood, and she was like being mean, like trying to boss and flex, and like tell me how it would be in the future. I'd look at her and I'd like say, "You're this is not very good." I was like, "You can't come back from this." I was like, "This is betrayal." And we talked about this for a long time, but like she was like, she get like this, right? She wants to be a fascist, and then she'd be like maybe her mother didn't tell her like what happens if he doesn't take the deal. He doesn't take the deal. You could break him, you know. What if he doesn't take the deal? You know,
You think it was really something like that, though? That was like a conversation like that?
Sure.
You think so?
She's the one.
I don't know.
She's the one
I feel like
signing
that's
off on sexual.
subconscious stuff.
Usually, when people disappeared on campus, it's because of sexual assault. The fellas or any kind of perp gets expelled almost on the spot. Don't say a fucking word. They can't call you out of your dorm. And then they got someone to bring you to the fucking train station, set you on the fuck, or a car is on the way, and the security guards pack up people's shit and send that shit to, and they kick your fucking ass out of that town as fast as they can. Keep your fucking mouth shut. And then the victim goes to a hospital. And then sometimes like people have their little drug experiences and stuff where they get really like shitty, and they get sectioned right and left, and their phone would ring in the middle of the night. She'd get out of bed and she's like this, like shadow, like government, big brother in the corner in the office. But when she starts fucking talking with her hands, like her hands, she'll talk with her hands. If she does anything like this, or like this, like she'll do this, right? And then after we got married, and then she'd be like this, she'd be like, "You're not listening to me." I'd be like, "Your finger at me like you're my mother." I was like, when did this start? But it was the father. It was like maybe she didn't get that like course correction where there was doubt, like there was question as to who was in charge, and she isn't fighting her for our rights with her family. She permissively allows her fucking father to attempt to assert dominance over her husband in the house, and then discipline or be a shot caller for the fucking grandkids. And I tell this old man what he is. He's welcome, but respectfully, and you're a non-commissioned officer, sir, which is like, and when I say NCO, I'm calling him a loser. He knows that. That's how I mean it. So I feel no, he's not my father. There's no reason for me to take direction from this person. And I'm like, you're a good fella, but like, I'm not going to take any direction from you or that wife who's a liability. And then I'm talking to him about his wife. Part of my argument with you, sir, taking the, kids to the ball game is that when your wife inevitably incapacitates herself with alcohol, and there's any kind of situation or a situation happens when you guys are out and she is on her way to being inebriated, who are you going to clear from that situation first? You can grab your wife or the kids. That's what I told. I said, because taking Pat and the kids is equivalent to having 3 kids. Old man. All due respect. This woman was like, I bought Jameson. I was never out. We were never out of Jameson. I would buy it, and she'd come and she'd crack that fucking bottle, and her mother would sit in the corner of the room, right? She'd sit in the corner of the room drinking by herself, like during social gatherings. If she wasn't like in my mother's face at that time in the house, she'd be boozing it. She'd be drinking a straight fucking rocks glass of Jameson, straight Jameson, sit. And then it happened all the time. That I don't know if it was a lifestyle or with her meds, her situation plus her consumption equals like I felt bad for her, you know. But oftentimes Ross has to like Mr. Overcash. It has to walk his inebriated fucking wife, wake her up from her chair, and drag her or carry her to the car, you know. You know, that was like, oh, so Shannon was like, you know, zero help, trying to rein in. And she promised me, she gave me this spiel, like, oh, you know, I didn't talk to my parents for years and everything. But she did, it's true. One of the big problems, she was never good enough, right? One of the mindfuck situations, her like cardinal sin to her mother and parent, both of her loser military career parents. She didn't join the military, and that was a sin because that was the plan for her. And you know what? Brandon couldn't pass the ASVAB. He was a product of a military upbringing, raised on bases, government schools, and he can't pass the fucking entrance test.
What's he doing now?
He's a security guard.
Oh.
He's a nut. He's Asperger's fucking nut. Aggressive kid like that fucking Trader Joe's jack off. They would be fast friends. The two of them. Yeah, they're bald because of
fighting ghosts.
You think so?
Yeah. You don't have to deal with that.
What I went through, that whole process, for me, I learned a thing or two. I learned about how easily you could be like just erased and what that's like. That's something that's a real thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then society deals with it by not addressing it. Not society,
because that's all you disappeared from, you know. About you. Somebody would have busted you out.
Well, I never understood the economy. It's like I've done side work, but I didn't realize that there's like two economies in this country. There's peer-to-peer economy, no change. And then there's the economy of a more systematic approach, a career somewhere.
Oh my God.
I know. He's what, freaking out, right?
No.
It's a wrap.
Yes.
I'm going to shoot. Where do you hear it?
You just heard it, right? But Squirrel is
it's not Squirrel, right? It's not him.
This is too much. It's like this. You can't. It's not. You can't be for all these rodents and then be shooting their brother in the streets. You can't. No. You gotta let the rodents live. We gotta get that peppermint. Oh. Where's your trap?
Tear each other apart. It's going to be a bucket of blood and rats battle in a bucket. But you put two rats, you find your biggest, meanest rat, give another rat, put them in a bucket. They're just going to like kill each other. Imagine there's more and more rats falling into this mix, and it's going to be like, that's
stop it. This is your stop it.
Well, how do you have a trap, a rat trap? You ever seen a live catch rat trap where you have multiple rats in it? Because the bucket trap usually is full of water. That's how it works.
You just shut that door. That could be the first non-trap. situation.
What? Because if he runs in, that would be too much. Oh! Are they? They're in Israel.
No, they're out there in the trash.
What trash? That's
I don't know. I heard something moved out there. They're not in his room. The door's closed, right? It was out here, or else I wouldn't even heard it. So or else I wouldn't even heard it. So it's them knocking over the trash or some shit. Obviously, they can get in here anytime. Anyway,
I know.
they're obviously out there at night.
Yeah, you're right. They're out
They're always out there.
I know. That's true. Right here.
We gotta get the. Okay, I'm on Google.
Peppermint
Where
oil.
to buy peppermint oil? And then my other thing.
You have nuggets. What is this? Is this edible?
What? Yeah, it's it's so good.
Is it worth?
Yeah.
No.
They're upstairs. In the fruit drawer, they're like always there.
Oh yeah. I don't
They're
know.
good.
Some are great.
No, these ones are good. These are mandarins, I think. They're really good.
Yeah.
See, we need the okay. See, I've decided I think that's a good idea because I'm like because in my mind I'm like, okay, I'm gonna let Squirrely sleep with me one more night, which I don't know if it's more for him or for me. But you heard him over there. He was like you heard him speaking over there. Remember when I went and got him? It's like I think the squirrel room is good for him. It makes him like more wild. But if I can get him at night, he would love to sleep in my pocket. But I know we can't have this forever. That
It's good that
we have to hone his wildness.
Yeah. So how we do because this all adds up to releasing it, right? Look at that. That's something.
What do you think of that?
Two dry herbs. I think it's a magnificent collection. I'm gonna fold these.
Yeah, it's in my purse. Oh, here's my purse. Where's that thing?
Okay. Take a bike ride.
Are we gonna play badminton?
Yes, but I want to go with cigarettes.
Oh, okay.
So I just go down there real quick.
I mean, I could come. Should I bring Squirrely out? Actually, I could bike with you.
How?
On my, what do you mean how?
One bike.
Oh, wait, there's only one bike?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm switching everything over from that black bike. The burgundy bike because.
What? You're taking my bike apart?
Black bike.
My bike?
Well, yeah, ride it. But there's a problem with the crank.
You're taking it apart?
Well, just temporarily. I mean, the idea is you like the burgundy one? The burgundy one would be like the same thing. Same wheels, Same handlebars, same shifter. The only thing that changes is the frame cover.
Ooh,
You
okay.
understand? And then you get a front fender.
This is what we need.
What?
We might need okay, we might need an ultrasonic rat repeller. $29.95. Purchase a set of ultrasonic pest repellent units and plug them into electrical outlets around your home. This is actually a common problem for people who've noticed rats living in their midst. One solution is, of course, to coexist with them peacefully.
Peaceful.
I need to click on this one.
Peaceful. Peaceful shit.
Have you recently discovered an infestation but aren't sure how to get rid of rats without poison? Are you concerned about harming the rats or even harming yourself with noxious chemicals? This is actually a common problem for people who have noticed rats living in their midst. One solution is, of course, to coexist with them peacefully. But naturally, you may not want to do that because they can spread disease, eat your food, and leave their little presents everywhere for you to clean up. Instead of going on a killing spree, though, here are some suggestions for how to get. Okay, 1, make or buy a humane trap. Okay,
Use a what?
this is about. Get rid of rats without poison by making your house uninteresting. Use. Okay. Number 2 is make your house uninteresting.
Okay.
Nothing they can get into. Essential oil. You could try spread around the problem area. Be forewarned, though. I said most for a reason. Some people, especially young people, can actually hear these sounds, and if they can, it will drive them. We could do. Oh,
I was thinking about.
you may also unknowingly repel other more desirable animals. See, that's actually then we can't do that because
I want the
that's gonna bother Gilby and.
Oh yeah.
We could do it in the basement though, maybe.
I wanna get the thing that I can blast at that neighbor dog.
All points of entry. Number 5.
We get a giant rabbit.
I have a cat that if you want to go, you want to get in a fight with Joe McCarthy.
No.
I
don't
think
want to take his girlfriend from him. Sounds like emotional support animal. Although maybe I should just go knock on the door and say, "Hey, driver, send me. Hey, I'm here for the cat. Cat's leaving with me.
Will you come with me just to go do a wellness check on my cat for the first step?
Who lives with him?
Nobody. So just be me and you.
How does he?
If I call him and I say he's got stuff from the government and shit, and he lives in like a sectioned house or whatever.
That's nice.
So will you go over there with me to do a wellness check on my cat, and then you can meet my cat, and I mean you'll have to meet. You met Joe McCarthy before.
Yeah.
I don't either, but he has my cat, and I need to see my cat.
Okay. So do you want to see the cat, or do you want to get the cat? You don't really care.
I want to first see my cat.
You want to see the cat?
Yeah. I think I don't want anything. What my biggest concern is my cat. So it's like so the first step is a wellness. Well, I was a friend to him and he was my friend and he told me these stories of his like a cat that he had and like how he would play with the cat and stuff. And I'm like, Edna was suffering at my parents' house because they fat shamed her. They loved my other cat. They were very judgmental towards Edna. They were mean to her.
Mean to the cat.
They loved one of my cats. I've never seen them be as cruel to an animal as they were to Edna. They like Edna's a special animal and they just like didn't appreciate her. They're like, they're like my dad's like it's like that's what I'm saying. I cannot become like a big fat person. My family will not accept me like that. And I will not accept myself. And they did not accept Edna because she was overweight. And that's a simple truth. That's maybe not.
How am I not overweight?
I don't think you're overweight. They're not gonna say they won't, they'll accept you.
The joke is that would make a difference. Like, that's the joke. Like
I'm just telling you the simplified truth. It's like, what was their biggest problem with Edna? Like, why did they feel they could judge Edna different? Which, and my cockapoo was not everybody has, but I mean, Chloe's like a ballerina, but they just like, they were not, and they just like, they would complain. It's like, and it's like if my mom, because already they're like, they love my cat Lily so much, but it's like my parents will take it out against my animals. I mean, Gilby's banned from the house, okay? So it's like any
Really?
issue with me, they'll take it out against my animals. Yeah. And it's like they didn't want both the cats. Like they love Lolly, but they like had it out for Ed. They were like, no, and like Edna like beats up like Edna is like the funniest. She's like Gilby. She's a Gilby type person. She's like a human being. She's like a dog. Like she's like it's like having a dog, you know. Like Lily does her own shit. And, my parents are obsessed with Lily, but they're like, oh, Lily's so much happier now that Edna's gone. It's like, and that's fine. That's fine. It's like, and Joe has taken, because I've done wellness checks on Edna, and he's really, and it's like I wasn't in the space because I was traveling or whatever. It's like I couldn't have Edna in my own space, So it's like my parents weren't, they were taking weird shit out on Edna. They were obviously fat shaming her a lot, and just constantly complete. And she's a joy. She's a treasure, But like, it's I can't. I'm for animals. I can't. When I take responsibility, Edna, I got because like long ex-boyfriend like picked up that cat and like and brought her to my house. I'm like, don't bring her in here because I'm never gonna let you take, like, this guy didn't have a bank account. And like I knew once he brought that cat in there that I was gonna be responsible for that cat for the rest of its life. Cat back to you.
First.
With your, if he lives in Vietnam now, he wouldn't have Edna. It would be fucking shipped off 3,000 times since now. He wouldn't know where Edna's in.
All right, want to go smoke?
And she would jump on my face all night long. Yeah. She's like the craziest. I've never met an animal like Edna. And like, Oh, and it kills me to like have this like horror, like such a freakishly strange and like unsurmountable disconnect and relationship with Joe and visit her and she's like lost weight, you know, like and she looks good. Like at first there's been questionable times. Like at first I go around like it smells like he's got a small apartment, you know, but he has the perfect apartment for her though. Because the other thing is that she's like petrified. She's scared of like the outdoors. Like why